Hi, welcome to day 14 of 30 days of AI in testing challenge. And my today's challenge was to generate AI test code. So essentially generating code through AI, using it for a practical purpose and then sharing my experience. Now, with this exercise, I'm almost near the halfway mark, and till now, we have done enough learning to now start incorporating AI for some real life use cases. And this challenge was pretty realistic, and by the end of this video, I'll also show you what output we were able to make, and we were able to make a working app or a working page which people can use as an app and as a guide. So how I did that, let's look into that. But the high level task was to select a tool, Copilot or Gemini or any other paid or no code tool, create some test code and then share your thoughts, and put your experience out and what you created, what how it helped, and did it solve some of your limitations, probably of not knowing code or not knowing something. So for this task, what I did was I went back to day 9, and at day 9, Joyce NG had posted this wonderful checklist for prompting, that if somebody wants to improve their prompts, this is the things, base level things that people should care about. So I collaborated with Joyce NG, and she's a wonderful tester, also a fellow learner, and she came and collaborated with me on this, and together we both did and expanded on our original ideas, and we could expand that to these many four core topics with so much for subtopics, different examples, and so on. Now, this checklist I'll be sharing you, so that's why I'm not going in much detail about these pointers. But what we did was that we used GPT to convert this checklist into a HTML code. So first part was to expand and see from GPT that have we missed out something, and then we were reading those aspects, that what are additional things that probably we are not thinking of, or what are additional examples that we can give to augment our uh, checklist inputs and various pointers from the checklist. But after we got all the pointers, what we did was I just copy pasted them from this mind map. So essentially, the mind map has an outliner view. So what I did was just copy paste from start to end, and dump this value into GPT. So what I did was I said I want you to convert the below pointers into this checklist, and the output it gave me was the similar data that I had, but in this bullet pointers. Now I assumed that it would give me check boxes when I asked it for checklist, but it gave me like this. So in the next prompt, I just said create a checklist from this, and it again did the same, but the difference was that this time I had given the inputs in a tab separated values. So I mean, it was easy to know the hierarchy, and it could take the right hierarchy. And then it gave this. Now then I explicitly mentioned about this point that I need check boxes against each check item. So it recreated the same and added check items or check boxes against each item. And then I said I need it as a HTML code that I can embed into a WordPress website. Now you see, I did a typo mistake here, but it could understand the context, so that is something good that it did. It did not took a reckless assumption, but took a decent assumption. And then it gave me a code, a pretty decent working code. But the problem was that it just gave me an idea that this is how your code will be. Add your checklist item here, and then it told me that I can add my items here, and that will help me make it. But I was not in a mood to type, so I said write me the complete code, and then it started writing for with some style CSS and one or two sections, and then it said repeat the structure for other sections. And I said this is not a complete checklist code, make a full one. So then it added a couple of more column, but then also it did not complete the full code. And after some jumble, I wrote continue, and then it started writing continuing from where you left, but it was not writing full. So then what I did was that I copy pasted this first part and added it to my website. So essentially what I did was adding the HTML code. So I grabbed the code from here and added that code here, and added it till the point it was added, or the response I got from the Copilot. After that, I gave it the remaining data pointers, copied that create for this, and then it created for this subsection, similarly for the last subsection, and finally I had all of this data pointers available there in the end. So what I could do was I could just copy paste all the things, and it was pure copy paste. So even like repeat the structure, this got copy pasted, but now I have repeated and copy pasted the same for all structures. So I'll update it live. And what that helped me to create was that without knowing coding, without like knowing much or being aware of the HTML and all these programming, which I had not been doing. So there was a time when I was aware about it, but I'm never doing all of this thing right now. So I asked it to create this, and it created a pretty good checklist and a good spaced one. The styling is uniform, and it looks pretty decent, and which talks about some general level things and contextual things that people should be taking care while doing prompt engineering, system under test, expectations, input output, feedback to LLM, refining prompts, quality measurements, and so on. So all of this checklist was possible through this code that we got generated from AI. It was pretty simple. I showed you the entire journey, the entire trail of that code, so it was not that problematic. And at the end, we have this final output, which is this prompting checklist for testers created by me and Joyce NG. So we both collaborated on this and did this. What was our experience like? So the experience was pretty positive. The only limitation or irritating part was that even despite us saying that create this HTML code for that entire checklist, it was not able to do that. It was only able to create for certain section, and then it was asking to repeat. And probably what we both could understand was that there is this token size or buffer size limit, so it's not able to produce an output bigger than something, because when we after second or third iteration we started writing continue, and then it was printing the same code for different sections of the checklist, and we had to just copy paste that code. So understanding of that limitation and then how do you use prompt engineering to solve that was important, and I learned that from Joyce. So that was a fantastic collaboration. And did the code work for me in the first time? Yes. And did it need further refinement? Yes. So it worked, but then it was not complete, so redoing this and re-updating was required. And how you found working with this tool to build and update your automation? I had been pretty much using Copilot for code generation, so I was aware about that. Which tool you used? Copilot. What level of experience you have with functional automation? So I did not actually solve a functional automation problem. I solved this checklist HTML page development problem. So that was good. And code developed through AI we tried, and that was positive. So that was the day 14 for me in this 30 days of AI in testing challenge. See you tomorrow at day 15. Thank you. Do share your feedback. Do share these videos with people who are passionate and interested about AI in testing. Happy AI in testing. Bye.